Hello. Today we are going to go through the natural notes on the ukulele and map out the whole fretboard here for you. This is Jeff, Jeffrey-Thomas.com, and first things first, I have my ukulele strung with a low G instead of a high G, so you'll notice that I've written high G and low G to make sure that you can get placement of the notes where, depending on how you have your ukulele strung, right? And let's see, the tuning is going to be G, C, E, A, and taking a look at the musical alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, back to A again. No H's, and that's the way the alphabet is, and it's important to understand how that applies to instruments. It helps you understand a lot about them, for sure. Okay, and you'll notice underneath or in between the alphabet, I've written a W or a half. The W is going to stand for whole step, and the half is going to stand for half step. And then also, above each note you're going to see a number, dash, number. That number means string and fret. Okay? So now here we can get started placing things. 4th string open is going to be G. And the only thing that's really going to change for you, depending on what G you have on your ukulele, is where the note is on the notation. So for example, if you have a high G, it's going to be on the 2nd ledger line of the staff. If you have a low G, like mine, it's going to be 2 added ledger lines and then the space below that, right? Okay, now moving forward, going to A, 2nd fret. 0, think of an open note as 0, and then to the 2nd fret. That is a whole step. If the note were a half step, it would go to the 1st fret, 0 to 1, but it's not, so 0 to 2, right? Also, we're only dealing with natural notes here. No sharps, no flats, no double sharps, no double flats, only natural notes for now, okay? So here's A, 4th string, 2nd fret. A to B is going to be a whole step, so we move to the 4th fret. B to C, half step, 4th fret to the 5th fret, okay? C to D, 5th fret to the 7th fret. D to E, whole step, 7th fret to the 9th fret. E to F is a half step, so 9th fret to the 10th fret, and then F to G, 10 to 12. Okay, now, continuing forward, we stop at the 12th fret on all of these strings. No mystery, the notes just continue. This is G, and then A would be here at the 14th fret, right? And then you're going to run out of room here. So all of these notes that are past the 12th fret are repeats of what's happened here, an octave higher. Okay, now going to the 2nd string, we have, actually, sorry, 3rd string, C. 3rd string open is C. C to D, it's going to take us to the 2nd fret, right? D to E, 4th fret. E to F, half step, 3rd string, 5th fret. F to G, whole step, 3rd string, 7th fret. G to A, 3-9, A to B, takes us to the 11th fret, and then a half step to take us back to where we started, an octave higher. Okay, now, tuning notes. Let's go back to the 4th string for a second. C at the 5th fret on the 4th string should match to the 3rd string open. And this is your first tuning note. It's actually a duplicate note also. Getting into more of the details about standard notation. So if you saw the C written and you were like, well, which one do I play? No worries. Usually in standard notation, there's going to be a number in a circle which is going to specifically tell you if they want the C on the 4th string or on the 3rd string open. So when notation is right, all of the details will be there, okay? Moving to the second string, we have a second string open, E. Half step takes us to first fret, right? And then we will go to a whole step up to G, and then we are moving from G to A. Also a tuning note, right? A to B, whole step, fifth string to the fifth fret to the seventh fret. B to C is a half step, takes us to the 8th fret. C to D, 10th fret, and then D to E, 12th fret. Okay, and notice also a note is either going to be on a line or a space, right? So as we're moving up here, we're not skipping anything, so the notes are going to, for example, on the first string we start with A on a space, second space of the staff. Then when we go to B, we move up to the next line. And when I was learning this, I wrote this out, like for the guitar, and the bass. When I really just wanted to get this straightened out, I used this sheet and I just wrote out these notes. And because something clicks when you actually write all this information, when you actually have to make the note, it really helps to recognize it. Okay. So anyway, let's back up. First string open, A to B, right? B to C, half step, second fret to the third fret. C to D, 5th fret, D to E, 7th fret, half step for E to F, 7th fret to the 8th fret, F to G, 10th fret, and G to A. Okay. Now, underneath all of these natural notes that we've just sort of walked through is a major scale. So I have you starting and actually placing the notes. Now you'll see what I was talking about a moment ago, where a number in a circle is going to tell you what string. So I want you to play the C on the 4th string. 4th string, 5th fret with second finger. Fingerings are written up above the notes there. And if there isn't a fingering written, then the note is open. Okay, so C to D on the 4th string. Moving over to the 3rd string for E, right? F. Then we go over to the 2nd string, right? So the notes on that 2nd string are going to be G, A, B, fingers 1, 2, 4, okay? And then to the 1st string for C, D, E. Okay, now the chord, right there next to it. Now in pink I've highlighted the root notes. So this is a C scale and a C chord, so it's nice to know where the C notes are. Okay, so you can practice this a couple different ways. I'm using fingerstyle on the uke. Some people are going to be using a pick, right? So either way, the most important thing of this lesson is the placement of the notes, right? Okay, now A natural minor scale and chord, root on the 4th string. So that means we're starting here with A, 4th string 2nd fret, and then we're going to B. C is going to be open. Then we're going to D, right? Moving to the 2nd string, open E, 1st finger on F, going up to G, then A again open on the 1st string, B, and C. Now back down. Again. Chord. Okay, so you can jam it up a bit, go back and forth from the chord to the scale. There's, and now you're placing things on the ukulele. So, very important. I have also this information for the bass and the guitar, and this is really kind of the first eye-opener to get you placing the whole range of either the guitar or the bass or the ukulele on paper. Really important. So I hope it was a little informative and maybe kind of fun. Anyway, I will catch you later.